Look around any crowded room. You'll see it. Desperation. Someone cracking forced jokes, hoping for a laugh. Another interrupting, trying to sound important. Voices overlapping, competing, pushing, grasping for attention. But then there is them. The one who's not trying. The one who doesn't need to prove anything. They don't fight for space in the noise. Instead, the noise bends around them. A calm presence in the chaos. And that's magnetic. What if the secret to owning any room isn't what you say, but what you don't? One tiny shift in how you move, pause, or listen, and people can't help but gravitate to you. Ready to steal that power? Close your eyes for a second and think back to a time you felt out of place in a crowd. Maybe it was a party, a meeting, or even a family gathering. You wanted to be noticed, so you tried harder. Talked louder, laughed bigger, maybe told a story you thought would impress. But the harder you tried, the more invisible you felt. Sound familiar? We've all been there, caught in that spiral of desperation, hoping someone would see us. Now, contrast that with someone you've met who seemed to effortlessly command attention. They were not the loudest or the most polished. They were just calm, grounded, like they belonged, no matter where they were. This is the first secret of charisma. Calm is your superpower. Here's the truth. Most people are uncomfortable in social settings. They overcompensate, talk too much, move too fast, fill silences with nervous energy. But the person who isn't desperate to be seen, they stand out effortlessly. This isn't just a vibe, it's a choice. You can choose to slow your breathing, soften your posture, and let the world come to you. Calm energy isn't about suppressing who you are. It's about trusting that who you are is enough. Think of the last time you were around someone who felt completely at ease. Didn't it make you feel calmer too? That's the power of grounded presence. It's contagious. It tells people, I am secure, and you can be too. Confidence isn't loud. It's the absence of noise. And in a world full of chaos, that kind of calm isn't just attractive, it is irresistible. But how do you make people feel like you're the only one who gets them? Have you ever met someone who made you feel like they saw you? Not just heard your words, but understood your heart. Maybe it was a friend who laughed at the right moments, or a colleague who matched your quiet intensity during a tough talk. In that moment, you felt a spark, like you were the only person in the world who mattered. That is not an accident. It's a skill called emotional mirroring. And it's the fastest way to build a bond that feels effortless. When you match someone's energy, excited for their excitement, quiet for their calm, they feel safe, understood. It's why you instantly like someone who gets you. This works everywhere. In a heated business negotiation, if you mirror the other person's urgency without escalating, they will trust you to find common ground. In a quiet moment with a friend, if you show your tone to match their reflection, they'll open up deeper. Even in conflict, mirroring their intensity, then gently guiding it down, can turn a fight into a conversation. Mirroring says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to understand you. The key is subtlety. You're not performing, you're connecting. You're saying, I see your energy and I'm with you. That unspoken bond, it's why people walk away thinking, I don't know why, but I just like them. They trust you, not because of what you said, but because of how you made them feel. That is charisma in action. Quiet, powerful, and magnetic. But how do you make every word hit like it was meant just for them? Silence is terrifying for most people. The moment a conversation lulls, they panic, rushing to fill the gap with words, any words, as if quiet means they've lost the room. But charismatic people, they don't fear silence. They wield it like a master painter uses negative space. A well-placed pause isn't empty. It is heavy with meaning. A moment where the world holds its breath, waiting for what you'll say next. Think of a comedian like Kevin Hart. He doesn't barrel through his jokes. He lands a line, then pauses, letting the tension build. The crowd leans in, hanging on that silence, until he delivers the punchline and they explode. That pause isn't accidental. It's strategy. A well-placed pause before a punchline, it builds anticipation. A pause after a powerful statement, it lets it sink in. It's the difference between words being heard and words being felt. Pausing doesn't just make you sound confident, it makes you confident. Pausing gives you time to think. It stops you from reacting and lets you respond. And that's power. Pauses command attention. But how do you deepen that connection? Making someone feel like you're speaking directly to their soul. Let us be real. Eye contact can feel intimidating. Maybe you've caught yourself looking away during a conversation, feeling shy or unsure. It's human. We've all done it. But here's the truth. Avoiding eye contact sends a signal. It says you are uneasy, distracted, or not fully there. Now, imagine the opposite. Someone who looks at you, really looks, with a gaze that's steady but not forceful. It's like they're saying, I'm here and I see you. That is the power of intentional eye contact. It's not just a look, it's a connection. Eye contact isn't about staring someone down or winning a power game. It's about presence. When you hold someone's gaze, calm, warm, engaged, you tell them they matter. Picture a networking event. One person's eyes are everywhere, scanning the room, barely listening. Their words fall flat. Then there's another, locking eyes with each person they talk to. Their gaze saying, you have my full attention. The group leans in, smiles, connects. That person isn't just remembered, they are felt. Intentional eye contact makes people feel seen, valued, like they're the only one in the room. This isn't about forcing it. You don't need to stare like a statue. It's about being comfortable in the moment, trusting yourself enough to meet someone's eyes without flinching. Start small. Next time you're chatting, hold their gaze for just a second longer than feels natural. Notice how they respond, how they soften, engage, or even open up. Most people scan rooms, looking for approval. Charismatic people give presence instead. But how do you take that connection and make someone feel like the star of the show? Here's a truth most people miss. Charisma isn't about shining brighter than everyone else. It's about helping others shine. The most magnetic people don't demand the spotlight. They give it away. They don't talk to impress. They listen to connect. Charismatic people know this. Making others feel important is more powerful than being important. They ask questions that spark passion about dreams, experiences, ideas. They listen like every word is a treasure, nodding, smiling, letting the speaker feel heard. This isn't fake flattery. It is genuine curiosity. When you show someone their thoughts matter, you create a moment they'll never forget. Think of the last time someone really listened to you, asked about your goals, laughed at your quirks, made you feel like the main character. Didn't you walk away glowing, thinking, that was amazing? That's the magic of being the mirror, not the spotlight. This works in any setting. In a job interview, ask the interviewer about their vision for the company. They'll remember you as insightful. At a family dinner, listen to your quiet cousin's story. They'll feel seen for the first time. Even in disagreement, reflect someone's feelings back. I hear how frustrated you are. It diffuses tension and builds trust. The beauty, when you make others feel valued, they don't just like you, they need you. They'll seek you out, not because you dazzled them, but because you made them feel like they dazzled you. That's charisma at its core, the quiet art of lifting others up while standing firmly in your own power. People remember not the ones who impressed them, but the ones who made them feel impressive. Charisma isn't about being loud. It's not about being fake. It's about subtle power, calm confidence, and emotional precision. Master these small shifts, and you won't have to chase attention ever again. It will come to you. Now you know how simple it is to become charismatic. But drawing people in is one thing. What if you could shape their decisions before they make them? Watch the next video, The Hidden Psychology of Framing and Mental Traps, because true charisma evolves into control. Don't just learn about charisma, own it. Subscribe to Low Key Genius or keep getting outplayed without even knowing why.